Hello again and welcome to video of our deck remodel. Show you the progress so far. As you can see, we had the 9 posts that we cemented into the ground, and we've cut those off, and I've actually got them over here, and these are actually going to be used as our deck rails. I got them on purpose, the longer ones, so that we can get them at least 40 inches up, and then to brace them in between the 2x6 framework of the joists. So that should work out pretty good. I might need one or two more, but we'll see. 9 of them might be enough to go around the span that we have here, but I may need 2 more that go all the way down for the tops of the stair, or the top of the steps, stairs, whichever. We did put one of the beams on top of these ones here to see if it's level, and it is level, but apparently my saw blade may not be as level. I don't know if you can see the spans up underneath these here. There's a little bit of daylight showing underneath a couple of them, but the end one that is based on here and the end one here is good, as well as the, make sure I'm showing the camera. This one and the end one are close. These ones are close, but yeah, I mean, let me repeat that. The end ones are touching, as well as this second one in here. These ones here are just close, but the second one from the end here, one of these 2 middle ones here, and the second one in here are the ones that are going to have the top caps bracing that are going to be holding these on. So when I put those metal brackets on these, it'll get it to where it's flush with the end one, so that should be fine. This one is pretty much inline flush or level. It's got a little bit of a decline going out this way, so the water will flow down off of it. We haven't cut the this outer side here, all of them. We were cutting all the center posts where we were going to put the beams at, and I was cutting all the ones along the house, so that these are the same height as the 2x6, because you can see the existing 2x6 that was on here. We cut it just below those, so that when we bring ours in, it'll actually kind of sit on there. The post will probably be a little bit lower, but if I get any sag or anything up against the house, because this is going to be a free floating deck, they'll just rest right on top of that. Now for the bad news. Of course, when you start to tear apart somebody else's problem, you get somebody else's problem. Yeah, the ledger board that they mounted to the house did not have any backing. There was nothing to keep the water from penetrating in behind. There's no felt paper, plastic insulation-y stuff to protect this. No flashing was coming down over the first board, nothing. They actually cut all of the plastic out to put the board in there, and it rotted out everything down in here. I have to see how bad it actually is. This is part of the doing the repairs, of course. As you can see here on this side here, the vinyl siding went all the way down, and then it was mounted to it, so I don't think there's going to be too much of a problem this way, unless it all wicked down since it's downhill. But I can see that there is some rot going down in there. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up cutting the outer sheeting up about a foot. I'm going to go about a foot up from where it's at and see what I have to replace. Looks like I have to replace a section of the bottom sill plate here, going all the way across. I'm hoping that I don't have to remove the door and then to patch this in, but I'll see how bad that is. I think I'm going to try just to take off the piece of vinyl molding trim here and check that. Over here, where the 2 pieces of the mobile home come together, this was a third section of the house. It's a double wide mobile, and then this is like an extra room that they added on. So this was actually the exterior wall, and there is no sheeting at all in this corner. So that's where apparently all of the wasps decided to go and get inside, and there's some cracked vinyl here where it was cracked when this was replaced, because this door was not originally in this, and they added this in and put in different vinyl siding. So you can see that this vinyl siding does not exactly match this vinyl siding, which is fine because I'm going to have to rip this whole side off, probably remove this door, possibly completely. I don't know if I want to replace it. That's more of an expense, but I have to get all of this water damage taken care of. We still have to eliminate the water spigot, and now that I can see underneath there, it's just the the flex plastic tubing that's going in, and it looks like it's going into what the laundry room, which is right inside this door here, is our laundry room, and that looks kind of like where it's going. So I may be able to just go underneath here, cap it off, and be done with that, which will probably be easier than trying to reroute it to somewhere we don't need it. I do also have another hole in here. I don't know if somebody was planning on doing future electrical or whatever here. I mean, if it was me, I probably would have done that to get some electrical out here. That would have been nice. I know we have the electrical out here on the wall for the air conditioning unit, so why not have a plug out on your deck? I mean, that would be a smart thing to do. I mean, there's already, you know, a light fixture here, a light fixture here outside these doors, and double lights in the corner here, and those are all wired into this building, or this section of the building here. This light here is, of course, from the main part of the house. So there is floating electricity everywhere. Don't know what all these go to. Probably water heater, because the water heater is right behind this section of the wall. The water heater and the condenser, or the evaporator unit for the AC unit, are all inside a little cubby right inside the door here. So the electricity for those are probably that, so I probably don't want to tap into those necessarily. But I may be able to go under farther, and that's where our circuit panel is, and drop down another line and bring an independent line out here for power if I so choose. But yeah, right now, like I said, I was getting all of the posts cut down so I could put the beams on them, and everything looked to be going good until I started pulling the ledger board off the house and ran into a little bit of a problem. I don't know if I'll share all of these repairs as what, you know, on the video, because it doesn't really pertain to deck as much as fixing the house, especially if it gets really extensive on this wall here. But I did want to show you that sometimes when you tear something down and you just think it's a quick, easy repair and replace kind of a thing, yeah, especially when somebody else did the work before you, you know, beware. There could be some other stuff. I still have to get this ledger board off of here to see how bad it is, but I mean, I can already see from back in here it is, you know, dry rotted out. Yeah, so it's not even holding nails. I'm surprised that the ledger board was holding, but luckily they had all of those 4x4 posts holding up the old deck, so that's why, you know, we've got it all supported. And so I've got all of the boards inside cut. All I have to do is I have to cut all these ones on the outside. Now I've got, most of them are going to just have be cut down to the same height as this one here, so that the outer decking box will sit on there or close to it. Like I said, give it a little bit of flex. This particular one is really close in line with my beam posts, so I may have to cut this one down lower just so that the beam goes out to that end out there. But once I lay my, I'm going to get the beam board here and lay it across these and see, because this one here on this end up against the house is also looking like it's pretty close in line. So I'm going to have to cut this one down. Oop, let me make sure I'm pointing at this one down to the same height as these posts here, so that the beam can continue on, because the beam is going to go all the way up to the house, to maybe just a little bit underneath the house, just for, so I don't have to cut it down, and then it'll go down to just past these posts here. And then my new box of floor joists are gonna, the outer beam rim joist is gonna sit on the outside of this here. So that is where I am at today. We're having a little bit of struggling with gonna have to spend a little bit more money and fix some stuff that we weren't expecting, but it's all in the day's work. But like I said, once I get to the deck will be beautiful and functional, and I won't have to worry about it getting water intrusion, because I will put the proper coating on the outside of the house and the flashing and stuff that's supposed to be there, so that it'll protect it for many years to come after I do the repairs. But I have to really get in there and see how extensive it is. I mean, you can't really tell here as much as you can here that there is a board that comes up this high and goes down, and then there's another 2x4 that is going across, which you can only see parts of the 2x4 because it is just absolutely eaten up. So yeah, it's going to be ugly, and hopefully I don't have to have somebody else come in here and help me do this, but I might have to look into that, because sometimes you have to jack up the house in these areas to cut these boards and then to replace the boards. And yeah, it's not something I'm looking forward to doing, to replace that that beam section, because it is going to be the ones that's supporting this wall. All right, so that is where we are at right now. And like I said, we got some of the wood so we can start building the deck, but nothing progressing now. Just still doing demo. Did get a new tool. I thought I had a reciprocating saw. Apparently I didn't in my tool corral. So we went down to our local box center, and I picked up this beautiful DeWalt one. Most of the tools that I would get, originally were from a different box store that we don't have out here. So, I do typically like to get the Ryobi stuff. I know people are for it, against it, whatever, but for the battery operated, I like the Ryobi. Any of the power tools, like I have a drill and I have now this, they're both DeWalt. For any of the corded tools, they're just a really good quality. I mean, I know Craftsman's a good quality, or at least they were, but for some of the like skill saws and stuff like this, they just are going to all plastic. I don't know, the quality has just really dropped off on some of these tools here. So DeWalt has always been good, and I have never had any problems with them, so I went to and pick this one up. One of the main reasons is because you can put the blade in two different directions, which is really cool. You can have it go up and down like a traditional one, or you can put it in sideways when you're cutting the tops of these posts off. Because I would cut them with the skill saw on one side and then go around, just cut the rest of them through with the reciprocating saw. It was great. Alright, so now you guys are all caught up where I'm at pretty much, and we're going to let you go. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, watch the other parts of the video if you're trying to see what we're doing and the step-by-steps on the deck process. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Maybe you guys will learn something. If you're not learning something and you want to teach me something, please leave it in the comments. I do read the comments, even though I may not respond to you, especially if you're going to be, hating on me and telling me what a dumb job I'm doing. But either way, love y'all. So please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And as always, we will talk to you later.